This year, the World Cup kicked off in Croatia. The second tour stop on the beach in Turkey. Then the world's top archers wound their way to the American West for Stage 3 in Ogden, Utah. Now the World Cup race is coming down to the wire in the People's Republic of China, where the fourth and final stage takes center stage, leading to the season-ending battle at the World Cup Finals in Istanbul. Welcome to Shanghai and our coverage of the 2011 Archery World Cup, which is known for its dramatic settings. This year we've gone from the beaches to the mountains, and this week, after the elimination and qualifying rounds held at beautiful Yuanshen Stadium in Shanghai, Stage 4's finals for both the recurve and compound competition conducted on the east bank of the Huangpu River in this electrifying city known as Shanghai. I'm Carl Archery here in China, where Stage 4 will solidify the field for Istanbul and the World Cup Finals. We begin in the compound competition, the women's bronze medal match featuring Danielle Brown against this young lady, Laura Longo from Italy, a number 4 seed taking on a number 6 seed. Danielle Brown comes in ranked 27th in the world. She defeated Christy Collin of the U.S. by 1 point before dropping her semifinal match to Erica Anschutz. We'll pick it up in the match after 4 ends. Laura Longo leading by 2 points, 113 to 111. Danielle Brown of Great Britain, the great Paralympic archer, shooting a 10 to start off the 5th end and putting a little bit of pressure on Laura Longo, who answers with a 10 of her own. So now the ball is in the court of Danielle Brown, who fires a 9. Back to Laura Longo now, who beat Albina Loganova of Russia in the quarterfinals before losing to Jamie Van Natta, which put her into the bronze medal match. She also shoots a 9. And now at a critical juncture in this match, an 8 for Danielle Brown, who sees all hopes of defeating Laura Longo disappear as Longo shoots a 9 to finish the match. So the young Italian, who is currently ranked 5th in the world, wins by the count of 141 to 138, a 3-point victory in Shanghai for Laura Longo, who wins the bronze medal. And that set the stage for another closely contested match in the women's gold medal shootout, an all-American affair, the first meeting ever in World Cup competition between Jamie Van Natta, ranked 11th in the world, and her teammate from the USA, Erica Anschutz, who came in with the number 1 ranking in the world. Jamie Van Natta not going to the World Cup Finals, and so this match becomes all the more important for her. And after 4 ends, Jamie Van Natta leads by 2 points, 116 to 114. Erica Anschutz needing a 10 to start off the 5th and final end to stay in contention against her teammate. Anschutz taking her time, lines up the shot, and it's right on the line, a 10 for Erica Anschutz. He keeps her in the match, only 8 points behind Jamie Van Natta. Jamie Van Natta, who won the World Cup final in 2008 but has not competed for bronze, silver, or gold in this season's campaign on the World Cup Tour. Trying to win a gold medal right here. She also comes up with a 10. So the pressure is back on Erica Anschutz. Peering at that target, 70 meters away, another 10, and she stays in the hunt. So the pressure back on the shoulders of Jamie Van Natta, a world record holder and a gold medalist in Ogden last month as a member of the U.S. women's team. She's trying to win a gold medal on her own here in Shanghai. She shoots a 9, and that opens the door ever so slightly for Erica Anschutz, who absolutely has to have a 10, but settles for a 9, and that opens the door for Jamie Van Natta to put this one away. If Jamie Van Natta can shoot a 9, she has captured the gold medal, and she does exactly that. She shoots a 10, in fact, 10 points, and Jamie Van Natta, with a look of relief and jubilation, celebrating the victory, a 2-point win over her teammate, Erica Anschutz. The final score, 145 to 143. So Jamie Van Atta of the United States not going to the World Cup Finals in Istanbul, but this will be consolation for her, winning gold in Shanghai.
It's difficult to compete against Erica because I know she is a very tough competitor. I compete against her in the States a lot. But it's easy to compete against Erica too because we are friends and there is not quite so much, there's no animosity, there's just, I'm going to shoot my good shots, you're going to shoot your good shots, and it's going to come out how it comes out. Actually, I had a really good match. I haven't had a lot of really good matches this year. Overseas, internationally, I've had kind of a rough year, so it feels really good to have a very good match.
Now going into stage 4, Pasamir Makhtab was on top of the standings with 51 points, followed by Laura Longo and Erica Anschutz. But after Shanghai, thanks to the performance put on by Erica Anschutz, winning the silver medal, she takes over the lead with 67 points. Back to the action now in the men's compound competition. This is the bronze medal match between Logan Wild and Angel Ramirez of Mexico. Logan Wild edged out top seed Pierre-Julien Deloche earlier this week in the quarterfinals, lost to Dietmar Trillis of Canada, and so he ends up now in the bronze medal match facing the 20-year-old Ramirez from Mexico, who snuck by Martin Damsbo of Denmark by 1 before dropping an 8-point decision to Rio Wild, Logan's brother. Now he gets Wild again with Logan Wild, and we'll pick it up after the first 4 ends. And Ramirez with a 2-point lead heading into the 5th and deciding end. And Logan Wild, with the pressure on, knows he absolutely has to fire 10s from here on out. Both shooters with 10s to start off the 5th end. And Logan Wild keeps the pressure on Ramirez. Ramirez with a 9 on his second shot. And that opens the door because now it's just a 1-point match. And Wild finishes off with 3 consecutive 10s. So Ramirez must have a 9 to tie, a 10 to win, and he gets the 10, and he does indeed win the match. And you can see the jubilation on his face and that of the crowd here in Shanghai. Both the archers extending congratulations to each other, and that, of course, victory brings a smile to the face of Ramirez's teammates from Mexico. But Angel Ramirez with a big win, his 2nd medal of the week, and he picks up more World Cup points here in Shanghai, where Logan Wild is left to wonder what if as he falls 144 to 143. The Wild family with one last hope in the men's gold medal match here in Shanghai, featuring Dietmar Trillis of Canada, the number 6 seed, taking on the 4th-seeded Rio Wild of the United States. Rio Wild upsetting Roger Willett Jr. in the quarterfinals, handing him his first loss of the year, and then Rio going on to defeat Ramirez in the semis to reach this gold medal match. We pick up the action after the first 2 ends, heading to the 3rd end. Rio Wild leading by 3, 60 to 57. Dietmar Trillis trying to keep pace. He shoots a 10, but so does Rio Wild, who has not missed on a single shot thus far. Trillis just a little bit off the mark with that 9 right there, but perfection continues for Rio Wild, who shoots another 10. It's at this point where the match takes a strange turn. Dietmar Trillis with his 3rd shot of the 3rd end. Nowhere to be seen on the target. He broke the knock on his arrow, and the arrow actually hit the scoreboard. So he received no points for that shot and fell way behind, as you can see on the scoreboard there, 120 to 105 after the 3rd end. Trillis trying to keep things together, get himself back into the match, although he knows he's climbing a big mountain. It's going to be very tough, especially when Rio Wild refuses to miss on his shot. He is perfect thus far. Perfect 10s, and with his coach counting him down, he fires another 10 and remains perfect. A score of 130 to 114. Back to Dietmar Trillis now, the Canadian, who comes up with a 10 himself. So Dietmar Trillis can only watch, though, as Rio Wild, with utter concentration and the eyes on the prize, fires another 10 as his brother Logan looks on, coaching him through this match, the gold medal match in Shanghai. Di Martrillis trying to finish up strong, and he does with a 9. But the match has already been decided, and the only question remains, will Rio Wild have the perfect match? 15 10s, and there's the 15th. He does indeed fire 15 10s and wins 150 to 133 over Di Martrillis to win the gold medal here in Shanghai.
To me, it was going to be a little nerve-wracking. I mean, Dietmar's a former world champion, so you know that he's been in these situations. So you knew it was going to be a good match. It was a little rough when I saw he had missed an arrow. Made the match a whole different. You hate to see anything like that happen to anybody. You know, I mean, I don't like to win that way or any way for, you know, in that deal. So it took a lot of the excitement out, but it was nice to shoot the 150. So I was happy with the 150. A few X's less. I'd like to have broke a world record. Would have been nice, but we'll take it. I mean, it gives me the medal and puts me in a good 10 count for the finals in Istanbul and for the Longines Award. So.
Rio Wild's victory here in Shanghai will shake up the rankings coming into the stage 4. Roger Willett was on top with 75 points. Of course, he did not reach the finals here in Shanghai. Rio Wild did, and he made the most of it, picking up the victory and 20 points to vault into second place in the standings.
I'm for Deepika Kumari in India.
Hello, I'm Deepika Kumari from India, and I am a recurve archer. In individual competition, I feel it's tough because I'm out there by myself. In the team rounds, though, my teammates are always supporting me, and I get all the strength from there. So I think in team competition, I'm so much more confident than in the individual rounds. I know, though, that I need to be more confident to win more medals. My only dream is an Olympic gold medal. I want to compete in archery for at least 10 more years, so I hope I can win more medals in upcoming tournaments. I competed in the last World Cup final in Edinburgh, so I hope that experience will help me to win this time. I hope I can do better than last year. I'm really confident because it's a set format, so there are many chances that I can recover if I make a mistake. In the bronze medal match here in Shanghai, Deepika Kumari facing Erwina Safitri of Indonesia. These two met once before at the 2010 Asian Games, and Kumari won that match. Now, Safitri beat Chang Ming of China before losing to Inna Stepanova of Russia in the semifinals. As for Kumari, only 17 years old, she lost her semifinal match in a shootout with Bérengère Chou of France, but she is assured of going to Istanbul for the World Cup finals. Right now, though, she's concentrating on winning the bronze medal in Shanghai. We will pick it up after 4 sets. The score is tied at 4-all, and Deepika with a 9 to start off the 5th and final deciding set. Safitri needing to keep pace, and she shoots an 8. Not going to help her cause, especially with Deepika Kumari firing a 10. Safitri comes back, scores a 10 of her own to keep things interesting in this 5th and deciding set. Now the pressure all on the 17-year-old's shoulders, and she falters just a little bit with an 8. And you can see the expression on her face, not happy about that shot, but neither is Safitri. As Safitri shoots a 7. The door was open, the opportunity was there, she couldn't take advantage, and Deepika Kumari comes up with the win and the bronze medal here in Shanghai. So the final count, it's Deepika Kumari, despite shooting just a score of 27 in the 5th and final set, wins it 6-4. In the women's gold medal match, Inna Stepanova of Russia takes on Bérengère Chou of France. These two have met twice before, and Stepanova has won each battle. The ships continue to roll by on the Buhang River here in Shanghai. As you take a look at Inna Stepanova from Russia, ranked 4th in the world. She defeated the #1 seed this week in Shanghai, Natalia Valeva. And as for Bérengère Chou, she defeated Naomi Folkart of Great Britain in the quarterfinals before defeating Deepika Kumari to reach this gold medal match. We'll pick it up after the first 2 sets. It's tied at 2-all. and Bérenger Shu to shoot first. At target number 2, and it's a 9 for Bérenger Shu, who's been ranked as high as 4th in the world, currently ranked 11th. Now back to Stepanova, only 21 years of age. She matches that 9 by Shu. So back now to Shu. And Shu with an important shot and way off the mark, wide to the right. She settles for a 7, not happy about that. But Stepanova obliges with only an 8. So the match remains very close. And a 9 recorded by Bérenger Shu. An 8 by Stepanova. And so after the third set, they split the points. They're tied at 3-all. Stepanova wins the 4th set, picking up 2 more points to lead 5-3, and now we'll pick it up in the 5th and deciding set. Bérenger Shu trying to mount a comeback. That one right on the line. They would count it as an 8. Creating an opportunity right here for Ina Stepanova. And Stepanova steps up with a 9. Stepanova, 21 years old, won a silver medal on the Russian women's team at the first stage in Croatia, did not compete in Ogden, trying to win gold in Shanghai. Bérenger Shu trying to prevent that from happening, needing a big shot, and comes up with a 9. So Bérenger Shu still with an opportunity, trailing by 2, but has to win this set to send it to a shootout. But Ina Stepanova with a big shot right there, 10 points. And Shu, knowing that it will be very difficult to send this to a shootout, tries to finish the match strong. Bérenger Shu, who already won a bronze medal this week in the mixed team event, scores a 10 on her final shot, does indeed finish the match in fine fashion, as does Ina Stepanova. 8 points, a little less than she would hope for, but enough for her to win the match. They split the points in the final set, but Stepanova wins by the final count of 6-4. I was very worried, but I am very happy as I won in competition with Bérenger Shu from France. She's a very good shooter, and I've known her for a long time. When I wasn't shooting in the adult category, I heard that she is very good, so I'm happy I won this match. It's the first time for me because last year I finished 2nd in World Cup competition. Today's weather conditions were very challenging because of the wind. There was no wind at the shooting range, but during the competition itself, the arrows were going too far. In fact, my first shot was a 6 because the wind was pushing my arrow further away from the target than I intended. So let's take a look at the standings coming into Shanghai. As you look down the list, you do not see the name of Ina Stepanova, but you do now as she vaults to 4th place in the standings with 38 points, and Deepika Kumari jumps from 6th to 3rd. Time now for the recurve bronze medal match for the men. Pedro Vivas Alcala of Mexico taking on Mitch Dielemans of the Netherlands. Alcala ranked 21st in the world. He finished 57th in Croatia, 6th at the second stage in Turkey, and also had a 9th place finish at the World Championships in Torino. Meanwhile, Dielemans, no World Cup points thus far, but he'll pick some up here in Shanghai as he reaches the bronze medal match. We'll pick it up after 3 sets. Alcala with a 4-2 lead, and Mitch Dielemans to shoot first in the 4th set, puts up a 9. So Mitch Dielemans, knowing if he wins this set, he can tie it at 4 and keep his hopes alive. Alcala also keeps Dielemans' hopes alive as he shoots an 8, opening the door for Mitch. Dielemans deals and comes up with a 9 again. So the pressure really on Alcala right now to try to put this match away. And with that 10, he basically does exactly that. That ties the set up at 18 points apiece. And Dielemans' 8 ices the win for Pedro Vivas Alcala, who finishes off with a very strong 10. That sews up the victory, and the young man from Mexico wins by the final count of 6-2, much to the pleasure of his countrymen. So Pedro Vivas Alcala with the win over Mitch Dielemans. Once again, the final score in Shanghai, 6-2 in favor of Mr. Alcala, whom we'll see in Istanbul.
My name is Joe Fanchin. I'm from the United States of America. I started when I was young, maybe in grade school. My uncle is a bow hunter, which is pretty popular in the United States, and he's been shooting for a long time, and that got me interested. And when I got to college, which was many years later, I started getting interested in competing, especially with recurve. Individual eliminations were a little difficult with the humidity. The wind wasn't too bad, or the little change of direction here in the stadium, but otherwise it was just a little bit warm and just fighting with that mostly, and just trying to make the best shots for each end. I'm really excited for the medal match. I had been in an individual elimination match before for the bronze medal in Ogden, and I'm excited to be back for this one for the gold medal match.
Joe Fanchin featured in the men's gold medal match here in Shanghai, taking on Khairul Anwar Muhammad of Malaysia. This 20-year-old youngster making big headlines in Shanghai, knocking off Brady Ellison of the United States in one of the early rounds. Only 20 years old, he'll take on the 24-year-old Fanchin, who's appearing in his second World Cup gold medal match this season. Of course, he also made it to the bronze medal match in Ogden last month. There is Brady Ellison, who's used to being in these finals, but can only sit and watch and cheer on his teammate, Joe Fanchin. All right, we'll pick it up after 4 sets here in Shanghai. Fanchin leading on the scoreboard 5-3. But Muhammad, knowing if he wins this set, he can tie it up and send it to a shootout. Muhammad with a 9 to start off the 5th set. And now it's Joe Fanchin, who's been shooting well all day long. Joe's first shot is a perfect 10, a bullseye for Joe Fanchin. So he takes the lead in this 5th and deciding set. But Muhammad keeping pace with another 9, shooting very consistently, back-to-back 9s for the young man from Malaysia. Joe Fanchin, after a 10 with his first shot, follows up with an 8. And now the crowd starting to wonder, a little bit of a buzz going through the crowd here along Riverside Boulevard, as Muhammad can only come up with an 8 himself. So right now, Joe Fanchin knows he needs 8 points, just 8 points to win the medal and the match.
10.
Joe taking his time, letting it fly, but it's a 7.
1-2. All right.
To Muhammad.
And he drops the 5th set, 26-25. That ties the score at 5-all, and it sends this match to a shoot-off. So the drama and the suspense building here in Shanghai. One arrow to decide the match. Joe Fanchin to shoot first. Perhaps an advantage for Fanchin to go first if he can come up with the shot that he needs to put the pressure on Muhammad, and he does. It's on the line, but that will count as a 10. So now the pressure squarely on the shoulders of Muhammad, who has to match that shot. He cannot do it. It is a 9, and the match is over. One and done, and Joe Fanchin comes up with the victory in dramatic fashion, and Joe Fanchin can finally smile. A little bit of relief on the face of the American, who wins the shoot-off 6-5.
During the shoot-off, I was thinking about where I wanted to aim and the execution of the shot, and just trying to picture it in my mind what I wanted to do before I did it, and it worked out well. So. I feel good. Everything went pretty well, not exactly the way I wanted, but it was a good match, a good experience. My work cut out for me for the rest of the year and for next year too.
So the trip to Shanghai turns out to be very profitable for Joe Fanchin, who came here in 6th place with 23 points, but after the gold medal victory, vaults all the way to 2nd place 48 points behind Brady Ellison. As we say goodbye to Shanghai, we look ahead now to the World Cup Finals in Istanbul, where we will see Brady Ellison, Joe Fanchen, and Pedro Alcala in the recurve men's competition. In the recurve women's competition, Deepika Kumari, Ina Stepanova, and Bérenger Schuh will be there as well. As far as the compound is concerned, look for Dietmar Trillis, Rio Wild, and Eric Enschultz, along with Laura Longo. Well, that's going to be a wrap from Shanghai. We'll look ahead to Istanbul. The next time we'll talk to you is on September 24th from Turkey. So long from China.